Hey, this is former LA T-Birds and Philadelphia Warriors skater Little Richard Brown. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you'll be notified whenever a new roller games video is uploaded. Thanks for your support and thanks for being part of Roller Games.
Incorporated, and it's the Philadelphia Warriors versus the Los Angeles Thunderbirds. Live action coming your way right now. The pack is getting intact. The girls are on the track. We're in the second half of the game. We're coming into this game already in progress. And the sound of the whistle, the jam will get underway. Girls are on the track. And the score is 47-49. Warriors on top of, or trailing the Los Angeles Thunderbirds, 49-47. All right, Roberta Mitchell, number 69, on the Warriors. And the sound of that whistle, the jam will get underway. Okay, the pack intact now. All right, this is Roberta Mitchell, number 69, Peter. Roberta Mitchell, and this gal is another something similar to Ann Cavello. Roberta, about 45 years old, but still skating strong. All right, we have a 2-on-1 situation here. Two Warriors and one Thunderbird, and Joni Weston getting by, and time is running out in this jam. Mitchell and Vega now, they're signaling over to a few Warriors, and what a play there. I didn't see that was Roberta Mitchell on one heck of a play. 4 big Warrior points scored on the play. 4 big ones, a play well executed there. Okay, and we're running out of time here. There's going to be a timeout on the track with the score. The Warriors 47 and the Thunderbirds 49, and we're going to be back.
This is former T-Bird skater Honey Sanchez. The Roller Games broadcast is brought to you by the new book Rolling Thunder, The Rise and Fall of the LA T-Birds. Enjoy the skating action.
Is Warriors 47, the Thunderbirds 49. The Warriors trail by 2. And the men are on the track now for their first skating period. That's the second half of the game right now. 49-47. The pack getting intact. And this is a tough Los Angeles team. And the sound of the whistle, the jam will get underway. Richard Brown, Little Richard they call him, and he is one of the fastest skaters in the league today. Okay, the jam is on. This is Ed Dresser, number 3. Eddie Dresser for Los Angeles. Scampering out, he's got the lead. And right now, the lone jammer and the only jammer eligible to score. At the rear is big Jerry Cattell for the Warriors. Jerry Cattell, who hails from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Blocking out Eddie Dresser. He's up. It's by number 2 there. Jackson. Okay, this is... Now the Warriors are pulling away. The Warriors are pulling away. Now, Peter, this has to be a good play on the part of the Warriors.
It's a design play here, but it's not working out properly. You see Bill Croak there running the defense there. He's got him in for 3, and Dresser works in for the last 2 by himself. It's a fine play by Dresser with a help from
And the Los Angeles Thunderbirds are very well, good play, very well done. So the score on that play, a few big points. The score, Thunderbirds 54, Warriors 47. There's Ed Dresser. He's a happy fellow right now. Jerry Cattell, number 62. Talking strategy over there with number 61, Billy Joe Hill. Well, there's a dynamic duo right there, Otis Williams and Jim the King Trotter.
I don't see what they're laughing about there.
There's nothing to laugh unless...
There certainly isn't anything.
Unless they got something to...
Unless they know something we don't.
Right. All right, the pack intact. So there was some jam working away. We had Percy. Jerry Cattell getting a 2-man whip. Cattell scampering out now. There's Jerry Cattell. he got that last minute whip by Vinny Gandolfo. Almost lost his balance, but recovers in time. This is Eddie Dresser. And what do you know? Look at Cattell, a one-man gang out there right now. And Eddie Williams coming back onto the track. There's Cattell at the rear of the pack. This is Harold Jackson. Now, Billy Joe Hill drops back as a decoy. All right, number 1 is Greg Quinn. Harold Jackson defending for Los Angeles. Big Jerry Cattell breaks the door wide open. He once more gets by Dresser and Eddie Williams. Otis with the whip. Cattell once more. He's up to Croak, and Croak knocks him down. Cattell getting back up, placing his hands on his hips and calling it off. And Peter, that was a fine play there, and we're going to see a replay on this, so just get ready. Just keep your eyes on the screen right now. That big replay on the fine play there by Jerry Cattell. Here we go now. Here it is. And Peter, why don't you describe the action here?
Okay, here's a two-man whip right at the top for Cattell riding high side up to Trotter, who gives him a second whip. And that last whip just putting off balance just that little bit. He gets the balance back, and it's Dresser and Williams. Williams coming up behind him. It's an outside shot to Williams, who goes over the rail. Cattell, there's Williams getting back on the track. Cattell clips Dresser by the look of it up to a double block, Jackson and Quinn. Now he's calling Billy Joe Hill back. Billy Joe Hill from Memphis, Tennessee. We're going to talk about what he's going to do here is give him a whip. He'll split through this double block. Boom! There.
Fine play.
And another double block, split through the second double block. A double whip up to Bill Croak. And Croak dumps him for the 5 points. I'm sorry, 4 points. 4 points
in that play, right?
Fine play there.
Yes, it was. Very good scoring there. And I guess maybe that's what Otis and Trotter were laughing about earlier.
Maybe that's what they knew that we didn't. We're back to live action now.
All right, there's little Richard Brown, number 66 for the Warriors. And, well, we can tell the fans about Richard, but there's just so much to say about Richard. He's just a valuable player for Edmonton.
Blocking or jamming. He's the league's most valuable player last year.
No question.
He deserved it all the way. He's a great skater. He's been through a lot, had a lot of injuries. He's always come back. It's a sign of a first-class skater.
You're watching the Philadelphia Warriors and the Los Angeles Thunderbirds. The Warriors in the white uniforms. The Los Angeles Thunderbirds in the red, white, and blue uniforms. The jam is on, and this is the big Otis Williams now. He's moving up front, whips out the King, Jim Trotter. Jim the King Trotter now, the lead jammer. And Trotter, he too is a fine blocker. And Trotter right now has company in Greg Quinn. Quinn up from the inside, takes down Trotter. Trotter down, and Greg Quinn now signaling over to his teammates, and look who's dropping back. It's little Richard Brown. Brown, he too can do it all. There's Brown, a fine body check there by Richard on Greg Quinn. Okay, Greg Quinn's going to give it another try. Richard again with that elbow, a leg block. A fine play, and I'll tell you, Richard is really pouring it on now. Greg Quinn up, no helmet. Now, Quinn hitting the rail. There's Richard coming back at Quinn. There's a knee drop, and Quinn is determined to get back up, and I'll tell you, Peter, I don't think he's got enough gas left now. Quinn down again.
That's going to be it.
Down,
that'll be it.
Whoa! The submarine block by Jim the King Trotter. And I believe...
Now we're going to take a second look at that. That's worth looking at again.
That was really something, Peter.
That's a fine block-out play by Richard Brown. It gets back to what I just said. He was the last year's most valuable player, and I think he's going to be this year's most valuable player. He's a fine skater, blocking or jamming. And we're just about ready to go to that instant replay now, I think, Ed. Here we go. And it'll be Trotter. There's the whip. Williams reaches back, whips Trotter out. And he'll be joined in a minute by Gregory Quinn from the Los Angeles team. Trotter just taking his time. He's not... Now he sees Quinn. Now he starts digging in. And he gets clipped too. That's illegal. I don't know why the referees didn't call that. It is an illegal play. Here's Richard winding it all up. Quinn doesn't know quite what to make of it all.
find out.
And he just found out what it's all about. This is what roller derby is all about. Defence, defence, defence. And that block hit with the upper part of the arm, that with the thigh, they're all legal blocks. Borderline, but legal. Block to the chest, forearm to the stomach. You see the referee standing right there. Slowing down now. That's the end of it. Now you see try to come back with a body splash. And that'll get himself a fine or a penalty. And we'll be back to live action. And I think this we're going to take a timeout right now.
56 and the Warriors 53. The men are still on the track. We're in the sixth skating period of the game. Second half of action. Enjoying the game already in progress. So here we go. Up front there is number 8 is Psycho Ronnie Raines. They call him the Psycho, and Little Richard Brown for the Warriors. Streaking out, and he's got company in Harold Jackson. Jackson now, number 2. He's got the lead for Los Angeles. Jackson signaling over to one of his teammates, and Little Richard says, well, I'm going to put you away, Mr. Jackson. There's Richard staying right in there, keeping Jackson in check. Little Richard, he can do it all, this fella. Look at that block. A fine block there by Richard. And I'll tell you, he's preventing Jackson from scoring. And Jackson looks like he's running out of gas now. Richard comes back with a drop kick. A very dangerous block, but it really works. And there's Little Richard Brown. A happy young man right now. Trotter congratulating him. And the far end of the track, we had a little something going there with Eddie Williams and Richard Duffy. But things are calming down right now. The pack getting intact, and there was no score on that play. The score is Warriors 53 and Los Angeles 56. Great Quinn threatening Trotter. Pack getting intact now. Trotter says, come on, let's be friends. And there's Crook behind the Trotter. Kicks Trotter. Referee Hank Hersey penalizing Bill Crook. Crook, who hails from Lansdale, Pennsylvania. One of the key blockers on the Los Angeles Thunderbirds. And a lot of these skaters, Peter, we can talk about a lot of the skaters. They're free agent skaters. They could sign with any team they wish to.
Some of them just sign off a series. Some of them sign up for a full year. It all depends on what they sign, how much they sign for, and how long.
Yeah, because a lot of people question, well, gee whiz, John Jones was skating for this particular team, and a week later he's on another team. In other words, they're just signing for certain series. Okay, back to the jamming action here. And this is Duffy. Rich Duffy, who hails from the Bronx, New York. All right, there's number 63 for the Warriors. Trying to get by, but to no avail. Little Richard on defense again. And there's a Warrior going down. And look out. Dresser will make it Rich Duffy trying to get by for Los Angeles. Being blocked out by Richard. Another Warrior going down. That was John Spozzato going down for the Warriors. John Spozzato. And let's see how they fare. 1 point on the play. 1 Los Angeles point. And the score, Los Angeles 57, the Warriors 53. All right, pack getting intact. Otis Williams with the helmet. They call him the Big O. Now, you've skated against Otis, and you've skated with him, Peter. What do you feel that Otis is capable of doing? Is he better on defense or offense?
He can do it. He's like Richard. He can do it either way. And here he's on the jam now. You get a good idea how good a jammer this guy is. It's like Williams by himself on the jam, just taking his time getting to the rear.
And they call him the Big O, Otis Williams. Little Richard giving the old whip to Otis. Otis crashing through. He's striving for a grand slam. Oh, look at a leapfrog by Otis Williams. What a play by Otis Williams. And yes, sir, he picked up a grand slam, 5 big Warrior points to make the score 59-57. The Warriors on top. And Peter, that was so good, we're going to have an instant replay on that one. That was a fine play on behalf of Otis and the rest of the Warriors. And Peter, why don't you describe this?
Okay, here's Otis, run high on the track. He gets his whip. You see a secondary skater breaking out, but he's already been picked up by the Warriors. So it's Otis to the rear. And they set up a double block, double T-bird block. He splits through the first, splits through the second. Then the leapfrog for the 5. And they give him 5 points on the jam. It's a fine play by Williams.
Fine play. All right, and we're back here again, Peter, and we're going to have a timeout. So
Hi, this is Gina Valadares. My father, Ralphie, spent most of his career with the Thunderbirds. This Roller Games broadcast is brought to you by the new book, Rolling Thunder, The Golden Age of Roller Derby and the Rise and Fall of the LA T-Birds. Enjoy the skating action.
We've got a little Donnybrook. That's what happens, Peter. You get away from something, you come back, and we have a little Donnybrook here. And the score here is Thunderbirds 57 and the Philadelphia Warriors 59. All righty. It's Judy Arnold, the captain of the Philadelphia Warrior team. We're in the third skating period for the girls in the second half. All right, the girls are on the track. The score 57 for the Thunderbirds, 59 for the Warriors. All right, this is Cindy Ogden for the Philadelphia Warriors moving out, followed by number 6, Joan Weston. Joan Weston trips up Ogden. So right now the spotlight is on Joni Weston. Weston now signaling over to a few of her Thunderbird teammates. Weston signals at the rear. Let's see now, at the rear of the pack is Lynn Congleton, Roberta Mitchell, and Judy Arnold. Make that, yep, there's Arnold. Arnold, Congleton, and Roberta Weston trying to get help here. Look out, and Weston scores. A good play there by Joni Weston, and you have to give the assist there to Vicki McQueen. Vicki McQueen, and there's Arnold. She's assisting to one of her skaters. The pack getting intact now. Arnold, Ogden, there's Earlene Brown. And Peter, we're going to have a timeout here, and we're going to be back with more skating action. Now, wait a minute. No, they aren't going to have the timeout. Their pack is getting intact now. All right. Pack is getting intact, and number 1 for the Los Angeles Thunderbirds is Jennifer Marshall. That's a pesky little skater. Roberta taking her helmet off. Ogden has her helmet on. Now, Roberta handing her helmet to Lynn Congleton. Cindy Ogden now on the move. Cindy Ogden, followed by number 1, Jennifer Marshall. One-on-one situation up front. Ogden trying to put it in high gear. Ogden is rolling. The pack being blocked out. Ogden from the inside scores. Cindy Ogden picks up 1 Philadelphia Warrior point. The scoreboard reading now, Warriors 60, the Los Angeles Thunderbirds 67. And there's number 747. They call her Big Earlene Brown. They named her right after the jet, Peter. There it is, number 747. And I'll tell you, we're going to be back with more action here. The pack is getting intact. And Lynn Congleton now with the helmet. Now Vega, Sally Vega giving her helmet to Captain Judy Arnold of the Warriors. All right, Arnold with her helmet on. Up front, Weston blocking out Roberta Mitchell. The jam is on. This is Lois Decker, number 4. Pouring it on Judy Arnold. Look out, Arnold recovers. She's going to pursue Miss Lois Decker now, one-on-one. The girls are on the track. We've got war on wheels now. Judy Arnold up to Decker, and wow! Yes, sir, down goes Lois Decker. Judy Arnold now, the lead jammer, and the captain of the Philadelphia Warriors, moving up to the ever-dangerous Joni Weston. Weston defending. Weston now, trying to keep Arnold from scoring. Arnold moving up. Again, Weston pouring it on. Now Arnold rolling up her jersey sleeves. Let's see how she's going to fare on this one. Here's Sally Vega reversing her field, coming out to help Judy Arnold. And it's going to work. What a play there by Sally Vega and the Warriors. A fine play. And 1 point on the play. And the scoreboard reading now, Thunderbirds 67, Warriors 61. And with the scoreboard reading, don't go away. There's a timeout on the track. We're going to be back with more action. Warriors 61 to Los Angeles Thunderbirds 67. And we've got some... we got a Donnybrook, and look at big Earlene Brown, number 747. Appropriately named, no question about it. Earlene Brown.
Yeah, it's interesting, Ed. Earlene was a representative in the U.S. Olympics, as she did win the championship in shot putting. Is that right?
That's correct, Peter. There's Mitchell knocking down Joan Weston now. And they're trying to get the pack intact. Referees Hank Kersey and Scott Freeman. All right, the sound of the whistle, the jam will get underway. It's 67 to 61. Thunderbirds still hold the lead here. All right, there's trainer John Trent Hodges attending to Earlene Brown, the 747 of the Los Angeles Thunderbirds. All right, we have a one-on-one situation here, and they called the playoff. That was Lois Decker and Cindy Ogg when they called the playoff.
But Decker called that jam off. I think she thought there was two of the opposing team on her, and she didn't really have to call the jam off at all.
Right, and now they're getting the pack together again. Sound of the whistle. The jam will get underway. Now there's Ogden carrying your helmet. She puts it on. Cindy Ogden, number 60 for the Warriors. Number 68 is Roberta Mitchell. All right, this is Joni Weston now. Joni Weston, make that 66. Lynn Congleton, the jammer for the Warriors. Lynn Congleton. Joni Weston up front with the lead. A one-on-one situation. Weston and Congleton. At the rear, Judy Arnold. All right, there's Weston at the rear now, pouring it on Congleton. Congleton hits the rail, goes over. And I'll tell you, Peter, that floor is not wood, am I right?
It's concrete, solid concrete, and when you hit that, you know you're hitting something.
Okay, now that was Weston tangling up there with Lois Decker. Now look out, the whip backfires, and down they go. Time running out in a jam. Weston getting up, placing her hands on her hips. There's Decker, and I'll tell you, Pete, that was so interesting. We're going to see that in a moment now, that the jam with Weston going down, getting her signals crossed with Pokey, or make it Lois Decker. And Peter, I'm sure when they review this film, they're going to be sorry for it.
This is something a little different, Ed. You don't see this happen every day, especially with Weston. Here we go, we're picking up right now. Here's the whip to get Weston out. Nice, easy stride. Veteran skater, been around about 15 to 20 years on the bank track. That's Lynn Congleton, I think. That's Lenny digging in, trying to catch Weston now. just about quarter. Weston's just sitting back. She knows that Congressman's going to catch her, so she's just taking her time, and she's going to get rid of her here. This little shot that would block a hard shot to the head, and it might have stunned a little. She took the rail, and that hurts. That does really hurt.
There's no question about it. Now this is about where Lois Decker, she's trying to get Arnold out of the way, but instead, there's Weston yelling over to Decker. Now here it goes. This is where it backfires. Yes, sirree. I'll tell you, it seems funny, but for Los Angeles, it's not a funny situation. But to us, it's very funny. Okay, we're back to the live action now. And there's referee Hank Kersey. Here's Weston just sitting there right now. And, well, we're going to have a timeout here, but don't you go away. More action coming up.
Hi, I'm John Hall, former T-Birds General Manager. This roller game skating action is brought to you by the publisher for Rolling Thunder, the golden age of roller derby and the rise and fall of the LA T-Birds. You can order this spectacular, exciting book on Amazon. Enjoy this final period of roller skating action.
Richard Brown, there's Arnold, going after one of the Los Angeles skaters. Judy Arnold with that old familiar number 67. Back to the live action, the men are on the track, the final skating period of the game. The men are on the track. It's Jennifer Marshall. She's got some kind of a hairdo, I'll tell you that.
You know, I put money on that's a wig.
Oh, is that what it was?
I would say it is.
I didn't know if it was a rat's nest or what it was. Okay. Number 61 for the Warriors, Billy Joe Hill from Memphis, Tennessee. All right, Billy Joe getting the nod from Jim the King Trotter. For Los Angeles, I believe it's Eddie Dresser and Eddie Williams, the two Eddies, against Billy Joe going down. So right now, you have Duffy and Williams. That's Duffy, I beg your pardon. Rich Duffy. All right, Duffy and Eddie Williams. Moving up to number 6 there, Bill Croak. All right, now the Warriors are trying to pull away. Look out, this is going to be a big break for Los Angeles. It just appeared that Duffy was playing hopscotch out there. Pat Duffy, or Rich Duffy rather. There's Duffy, he's happy with himself. And I'll tell you, that wasn't a bad play at all, Pete. And we're going to see some instant replay on that one. And Peter, what did you think on that one?
Obviously, the front man tripped or was tripped. It's pretty hard to see. We're going to try and pick it up and see exactly what did happen. I thought I saw a jacket get thrown out there, or it's coming into that turn. I saw something, and we'll see what we can find out about it.
This is the instant replay now.
All right, this is Duffy and Williams, and this that's Hill, Billy Joe Hill. Okay, here's the Warriors pulling away. Now whipping up the two jammers. There's the jacket. Weston's got a jacket. She didn't throw it on the track, but it seemed that it caused the front man to go down. He trips, and they go in for 10 points.
Pat, Rich Duffy on that was like basically playing hopscotch. That's pretty tough to do, to hop, skip, and jump like he did. There are a few happy fans there, or not too happy, I should say. There's Eddie Williams, and number 4 on your screen there, you see Rich Duffy. And a few of the bipartisan fans. All right, there's Jess Adams, the man you see there, the general manager of the Warrior team, and he's arguing with referee Hank Kersey. And you can't argue with Hank Kersey.
He better watch himself. He's going to be out of there in a hurry if he puts a hand on that referee. That's one thing they don't like to see.
Boy, I'll tell you, they were coming close. They were nose to nose right there.
He kept those hands down by his side, though, I noticed.
Okay, Jess Adams not too happy right now. Pat getting intact. Adams goes back to Hank Kersey again.
I think he's arguing about that jacket that Weston's got.
probably.
He's saying that Weston's interfering with the jam, and he's also saying, I think, that she caused that pile-up.
Right, okay, now Little Richard Brown with the jammer's helmet on for the Warriors, and number 1 is Gregory Quinn for Los Angeles. 1-on-1. Little Richard going down. Greg Quinn on a fine block knocks down Little Richard Brown, and more than likely knocks Richard out of this jamming contention. All right, Greg Quinn, the lead jammer, the lone jammer, moving up to the rear of the pack now. Time running out in this game. The Warriors are trying to pull away. The Warriors are pulling away, and Greg Quinn's got his job cut out for him. He's got to play catch-up here. Let's see what the Warriors do. Cattell leading the Warrior pack. Greg Quinn up now, moving up to Richard. Look out, the Warriors stumble going down, and Gregory Quinn picks up a grand slam. Make that 4 Warrior points on the play. 4 Warrior or Thunderbird points. Check that, fans. That's 4 Thunderbird points. And the scoreboard reading now is Los Angeles 74, the Warriors 64, and we've got plenty of action coming your way. This is the final period of the game, and Joni Weston from the infield is waving that jacket, and this could be what Jess Adams was complaining about.
This is an interesting point. She's not throwing the jacket on the track, and she's not putting the jacket on the track. All she's doing is trying to intimidate that front skater, that lead skater, and the front skater is allowing himself to be intimidated. Now he's falling, tripping, and the whole pack goes down on top, and the T-Birds strategy is working. Right now they're allowed, she can do anything she likes in the infield as long as she doesn't go on the track.
In other words, she's using that jacket.
She's threatening to throw it. She's threatening to throw it on the track, and
the referees are not catching it.
Well, no, she can do that.
Oh, she can?
As long as she doesn't go on the track, as long as she doesn't throw anything on the track, she can go to throw something on the track, and that's the trick. That's how they're catching it.
Jim the King Trotter now with the lead here. The Warriors are trailing. They're trying to get back into this game. Jim the King Trotter and Harold Jackson. Jackson up wearing number 2. Look out, Greg Quinn blocks out Harold Jackson. Jim Trotter now, he shuffles Quinny, and Jim the King Trotter puts the Warriors back into the game. Jim the King Trotter picks up 4 big ones, and the score now, Los Angeles 74, the Warriors 68, and we're going to show you a instant replay on that previous jam by Jim Trotter. And Peter, it was a fine maneuver on the part of the Warrior.
It was a trick play, Ed. What Trotter did was come in and do a false cutoff. You might see him. He'll put his hand. The way you can cut the jam off is to put both hands on your hips. Now you'll see here at the end of the jams we watched Trotter here. Jackson, I think it's Quinn. Is it Jackson or Quinn? Jackson on the late chase. Here's Jackson. Now he goes to cut off. You see one hand on the hip. That's the trick. He doesn't know what the other jammer thinks it's going to be cut off. Quinn misses the block again, goes over the rail. Trotter dives low, in for 4 points. Fine play by Trotter. Well thought out and well executed.
Okay, now the pack getting intact now. Little Richard Brown donning the jammer's helmet. And for Los Angeles, it's number 2, Harold Jackson. Okay, Jackson and Richard, 1-on-1 up front. Little Richard from the inside. And Jackson losing his helmet. And look at Richard and Jackson, they're going into a scuffle. Hey, look at this. The jam is still on, but you'd never know it. They've got a little fight now, and Richard goes down. Harold Jackson getting the best of Richard on that one. Look out, Richard is taking his skates off. This is trouble. Peter, I see trouble. Jackson doing likewise now. This is trouble. Look out. Richard getting a skate going after Harold Jackson. And I don't like to see this, Peter. I'll tell you, tempers are boiling right now. Peter, I don't know, I feel at times it's uncalled for. Richard going after Jackson. They're leaving the skating area. And I'll tell you, and the fans here are up on their feet. They don't know what to think of it. Peter, it's really something else. Meanwhile, the pack is getting intact right now. The score remains Thunderbirds 74, the Warriors 68. And the pack getting intact now. General Manager Jess Adams of the Philadelphia Warriors, a little bit concerned. Okay, the jam is on. It's Jim the King Trotter, Billy Joe Hill up front, Eddie Williams for Los Angeles. Moving right behind Trotter. Trotter drops him. Trotter dropping Eddie Williams, and Billy Joe Hill and Jim the King Trotter. We've got a double scoring threat here for the Warriors. All right. At the rear now, there's Trotter. Trotter breaks the door wide open and calls the play off. Jim Trotter calling the play off, picking up 3 big Warrior points. And the score now is Warriors 71, Los Angeles 74. And some fans here. There's Jess Adams. He's trying to pull this game out. They trail by 3. The Warriors and the Thunderbirds. Look, this is Richard and Jackson. They're going at it, fans. And I'll tell you, Peter, we just don't like to see this sort of action take place here. And I'll tell you, it's something else, Peter. It happens, though. I guess just tempers flare, and you can only do so much. You can only hold yourself so much. And so there's Richard now. He's getting back on the track. The score, 74-71, the Thunderbirds lead the Warriors. Well, time is running out in the game now. The pack is getting intact. All right, this is Billy Joe Hill up front. Jerry Cattell for the Warriors gets the nod from Billy Joe Hill. Time running out. Okay, Cattell. And Bill Croak is at the rear. This could be trouble for Cattell. Cattell now, time running out in this game. He's got a scorer. If he doesn't, the Warriors can be doomed here. There's Bill Croak pouring it on. Croak using heavy artillery. Now Cattell, if you note, does not have his helmet. But again, it's up to the officials' discretion. Time is running out in this game. Jim the King Trotter out on the late chase. Can he do it? He's up. Trotter knocks down Bill Croak. And it frees Cattell. This could be a double scoring threat here for the Warriors. Trotter and Cattell putting it in high gear. They're rolling right now. Time running out in the jam. 10 seconds remaining. There's Jim the King Trotter. And the fans are chanting, go, go, go. 2 seconds. 1 second left. Trotter, the lead jammer, calls it off. The game